Welcome back to the Rouges. We have another Rouges. We're talking Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Today we're going to be talking more about the recent dual national commit. Looks like it is Luca. If I'm saying this wrong, sorry, but Luca Koleosho. He was born in the USA, but was also eligible to play for Italy, I believe, as well as Canada. And he has been added, as you guys already know, as I did a video on this already, that he's been added to the Canadian roster for the next 3 games coming up for Canada against Panama, which he very well could debut for them, against Curacao, as well as away at El Salvador, or Honduras, I meant. But yeah, this video is I'm going to be talking more about Luca Koleosho, and yeah, it's another subscriber recommended video, and thanks again to BCR. Once again, he's supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel. And once again, on that reminder, if you guys have any player suggestions you want me to provide input on, or anyone else you want me to talk about, feel free to just comment below, and make sure you just give me the article link. You gave me an article link as well, and I would happily do a video on that, as I love learning more about players for both Canada, USA. This is one of the players I also said I wanted to learn more about when I went over the list of names in the roster as well. So it works out. And yeah, so thank you again to BCR for supporting the channel and sending recommendations in so I can do videos on. So nonetheless, we're going to be talking about him today, all about Luca Koleosho, more about him for those who don't know, including myself. So we're going to be learning about it together. There's an article I'm going to be reading as well that he included, so I am going to be doing that. Do One Soccer, as well as beforehand, we're going to be going just doing a quick kind of overview on what they have on Wikipedia about him. That way we can kind of get the lay of the land before the article. And then again, the article might also repeat a lot of the stuff that Wikipedia mentions, as it's pretty much mirrored. But, I mean, hey, I just want to figure we break the ice by this way first before we read the article. So the article is kind of long, so I'm going to try and read it right and make sure I can get it through in one go. Just like as we heard in the recent court case finish up, the lawyer, did I read it right? Did I read it right? So hopefully I do read that right, and we'll find out with very little error. So as well as we'll get to learn more about him. So yeah. So yeah, starting off here, we got Luca. Once again, sorry if I butcher, mispronounce any names, but I'm gonna talk about this right here. This first Wikipedia snippet here. Luca Warwick Deovi Koleosho was born September 15, 2004. Is a professional soccer player who plays as a winger for Espanyol B. Born in the States, he represents the Canadian national team. You can even see his details right there. He plays as a winger, which is also important for Canada, as they need more attacking players. And then you can even see Espanyol is in La Liga, but for his international career, more about him. Koleosho was born in the United States, a Nigerian father and an Italian-Canadian mother. So it sounds like he had many options to go here. He was either eligible for Italy, Nigeria, the United States, and Canada. And I'm going to talk about more why I think he made the right choice. Is because especially for Canada, is they need, the United States is growing a lot when they were taking all this dual nationals and talent everywhere. When Canada kind of, it helps because, he can get playing time and help Canada build their depth as well. But he holds an Italian passport through his mother. He is also a former youth international for the United States, having represented the United States under-15s. So he has played with the United States, and I believe he is making the switch from the USA to Canada, which for the United States, honestly, I don't think it's going to affect them that much, as the USA is already getting a lot of talent. Canada, this is definitely beneficial, as they were able to poach in a way, quote unquote, poach one of the players and add to their depths. And this is really beneficial, as I always said. Canada is really in need of more attacking players, and the defense and midfield looks decent, but we need more scorer. Canada specifically needs more scoring threats besides Davies, David, Laren, others. But, it helps to also build depth for injuries and other people. That way, you can play a lot. You can just have as many people to play. You want that champagne problem that the United States is currently having as well. So it's coming to Canada. You just got to be patient. It's coming. Slowly but surely, dual nationals and more players are going to find their way to Canada. As we said in my last video, on the other dual commit, you're going to get more playing time, I believe, for Canada out of all these other teams. I mean, Italy, just think about it. Would he play for Italy? Would he start? No. Would he come off the bench? Maybe not. I mean, even though he's only he's young, but then again, I mean, it's the same thing with Nigeria. Maybe. I mean, the chances might be a little better, but when Nigeria play him, probably, maybe not. With the United States playing with all this talent going on, maybe he would get overlooked because it's the talent depth right there for the States is just so deep. But for Canada, I mean, it's growing, but I believe it may be it's a great fit in my opinion because I mean, Canada obviously include him on the roster, so that means they must have an immediate use for him or immediate position or spot to fill, which is going to be good for Canada, as they're trying to improve their depth as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep reading though. He was called into the training camp for the United States under-20s and the Canada's under-20s. He was called up to the senior national team for Canada recently, as we know that he was called up for a set of friendlies. By the way, we were supposed to be Iran, but the team changed for Panama, and so it'll be Panama and the two other games I mentioned, and for CONCACAF Nations League's matches this month. So that's your little Wikipedia snippet. And as I said, he plays and looks like La Liga, as well as he's a left winger. So really, really helpful for Canada, as well as it's another attacking option, especially if they're playing a 4-3-3. So I believe this is pretty great. Now I'm going to go to the article now. It's a pretty long one, but I believe it's filled with a lot of meat and information that we can learn together from. And yeah, we're going to learn more about Luca Koleosho, as we're going to take a deep dive, as this title says, onto the Canadian men's national team's newest call-up. And so, as I said, to see if I can read this right, and here we go. With their June window rapidly approaching, the Canadian men's national team have released their 25-man squad for that camp on Wednesday as they get ready to take on Curacao and Honduras, as well as Panama, but specifically Honduras and Curacao in CONCACAF Nations League action. That's a lot to be excited about, there's a lot to be excited about Wales in the squad. Headlined by the long-awaiting return of Alphonso Davies, by the way, welcome back, and supplemented by a return of several key regulars, I'm already messing up, come on, from Canada's qualification journey, as well as a long-deserved shout from Raheem Edwards. This Canadian squad is loaded with all sorts of talent and fun stories. But despite those promising storylines, they are also far from the biggest news in this release, as it was announced that 17-year-old trio national Luca Koleosho has been included in Canada's squad, which for Canada is huge. It might not seem like this at first glance, but Koleosho, as he has just one professional appearance to his name, but don't be fooled by that, because this is a sizable move for Canada, which I said, this is an important guy. As some might know, that one professional appearance actually came from this past weekend, when Koleosho graced the field in Spain's La Liga, coming from Espanyol, I believe. I'm not saying that right, but Espanyol in the final game in the regular season against Granada. So, given that Koleosho is also eligible for the U.S., with whom he's played for, also as I mentioned, their youth academy and the youth level, as well as for Italy, that rapid progression at the club level has also had a sudden ramped up for chatter about his name, as well as his national team future, for good reason. So it looks like the article, I'm just going to take a quick break here, but it looks like, they don't even mention Nigeria. They talk about his three countries, Italy, the U.S., of course, which he formerly played with, and Canada, now he's making the switch to. But if they're not even talking about Nigeria, I mean, in Italy, if it was between Italy, Canada, and the USA, then yeah, Italy's got like a lot of talent, and there's like probably a lot of talent they already produce already. So I don't know if you would, as I said earlier, I don't think you would get to play any minutes there, or hardly any minutes. For USA, I mean, he started, but I don't think he might get overlooked by the amount of talent that's pouring in down there. But for Canada, I mean, this is a perfect fit, it sounds like, because they need more talent. They need more just depth, just right. It's always a good problem to have as many talented players and just a lot of key players. So, for Canada, I think this will help. Especially he can this might be easier to get some playing time, make even a crack into the starting 11. So, I'm going to keep reading, though. Because of that, seeing Canada stake out the first blow in the race to get Koleosho to commit is interesting, as they look to continue their impressive record with dual national players. Despite all of that, however, there's a lot of questions to be asked about Koleosho after this news, with the biggest one being quite simple. Who is he, and what can he bring to Canada? Here's a look at what the 17-year-old has seemingly burst onto the scenes in the recent day. So, a quick rising prospect, born to the U.S., into Italian and Canadian parents. Koleosho mostly grew up south of the border, where he quickly developed into a solid player, playing in the youth academy in the U.S. So as I said, he was trained in the U.S. He played everything in there. That's where he started everything. Started in the U.S., but now he's seeing that he's getting called into Canada, so we'll see how that affects everything. An exciting winger, one who can both score and create, that leads him to catch the attention of other coaches who were quite enamored. I know I'm saying that wrong, but enamored with what they were seeing from the youngster. So given that he had a European passport thanks to his mother's Italian roots, it was decided that he should head over to Europe to pursue his dream as a teenager. As he didn't have to wait until the age of 18 like those who don't have a passport, having to do so makes it a no-brainer for him to take advantage of that. That's another thing. That's wild. You got to be 18 years old to play in Europe. That's something I believe that should be scrapped. As I believe that if you got talent at no matter what age, you should be able to just show it. It's like look at Wade Rooney. I know he was already in Europe, but you got 16-year-olds, heck, 14-year-olds that are already playing at professional levels. Why wait until 18 to show what you can do? That's just a quick input of me. But through that, he also went on to trial, where then he was able to set up his finest feat in Spain, where he remains today. First, he cut his teeth with Spanish lower division club FC Rouges, where he impressed with his current progression or continued progression, which led him to make the exciting move to La Liga Española in 2020, allowing him to develop in their youth system. From there, he just continued to chip away in their system, showing a great promise as a prospect, one that many felt Española was close to calling up. Playing first with their U18 team before moving up to their U19s, his play also stretched in to attract, or started to attract, I'm butchering this, has also started to attract the interest of both Canada and the U.S., though that through the play, with the latter even inviting him to some of the youth camps along the way, giving him an idea on how much he's been progressing. And in these skills says, so in a sense, this recent La Liga debut was coming. Having improved as he's had, it felt like a matter of time before he got to play within their sister first team. And then, with Espanyol having nothing to play for in their last game of the season, they decided that the last weekend was right. So, remember, European season just ended. This was the last week, 38 games. So, it just finished up. And the last weekend was the right time to give him a taste, even if it was just 2 minutes deep into extra time. It was a big sign for what was to come for his next season, as Espanyol thought that he wasn't far away from big time in their eyes. Because of that, it feels like Koleosho is often prepice of a big explosion. Despite not turning 18 until September, it feels like he could even be gracing La Liga's field with regularly before that even happens, especially if he is able to build off his recent debut. So although it might seem early for Canada to call him in, seeing his rapid rise also shows why they were quick to act on his bringing him when there's opportunities rose. Come on, I gotta do better. Showing that they're keeping tabs on this promising youngster. And you can even see here, there's a tweet by Gareth Willer. Another dual national win for Herdman, with 17-year-old Luca Koleosho committing to Canada, according to Gareth Willer. Burrow Halter and the U.S. CANMNT has also been called the player, but Koleosho made his first team debut with Espanyol on the final game week of the league of the season. So according to Gareth Wheeler, looks like he has already committed to Team Canada. And as I said, we're about to go on and see what this means for Canada's men's national team. There is no doubt that Koleosho has a bright future and might get the senior call to be soon. Might this be too soon for the 17-year-old? And given that Canada is looking to continue their preparations for the World Cup later this year in this June camp, which is why they've already brought otherwise strong and familiar faces on the squad to take on Panama, not Iran, in a friendly at both Curacao and Honduras in the Nations League, is certainly something worth pondering. At the same time, however, it's also worth noting that this timing is great for Nicola Koleosho. Having recently been included on Canada's long list for the under-20s CONCACAF Championship, which are happening later on this summer is Honduras. You would imagine, or you would have to imagine, that Canada would love to have Koleosho represent Les Rouges as they chase the Olympics and under 20 World Cup qualification at that tournament. And that's also important to note. So we just like the women's sides, we're seeing that that tournament is also classifying as both a double kind of classification, you can say, for both the Olympics and the World Cup. So I said, why would might ask? Well, with that tournament set to kick off on June 18th, Canada is expected to hold a short camp leading up to that tournament before they get going down in Central America, where they'll engage in their last preparation for that competition. And with Canada's senior team's call-up coming just in a few days, this call-up does create a timeline where Koleosho is able to participate in a good chunk of the senior camp before heading down to join the U20s, which for Canada would be a stroke of genius, as not only they would be able to include him in his first camp at the youth level, and that the plan, he's already previously played for the U15s, or for the U.S. at least, but they've also be able to allow him to do something while allowing him to get a taste of the senior team environment first, potentially giving Canada an edge for Koleosho, and so does he choose to commit to the national team. So I'm seeing mixed message here. So according to Gareth Wheeler, it looks like he is committed, but at the same time, One Soccer says this is not official. So it looks like I'm not sure if he's committed yet, or if he's just trying things out, just getting his feet in the water. So that I'm not sure about. But because of that, the surprise move all of a sudden makes a lot of sense for Canada. Might it be too early for Koleosho to play for Canada's senior team, especially given the overall depth of the pool and their ongoing preparation for the World Cup? Possibly. But if you factor in the under-20s inclusion on top of that, it adds credence to the move, especially given how quick their star is rising. Getting on the hype train early is a smart move. And while the train has very well left the station early, this call-up shows that Canada has smartly reserved a first-class ticket on the journey, and one that is just the beginning for a 17-year-old. And then you can see the article just basically showing him, as I covered already in the Canada roster, that he's already been called up and he's basically been already included. So with that article, I know it was quite long, so if you ever bear with me there, thank you. But yeah, just my input on it. Very, very smart move for Canada. I agree. As I said, I don't know if he is committed or whether he's just trying things out. But he's already tried out with the U.S. under-15s. He's came up to the USA, so USA's trained him. If Canada can manage to take him, that'll be work in his favor, especially when they talk about the under-20s. He can get experience right there while also at the same time working alongside some senior national teams, Alphonso Davies, Kyle Larin, and the big names like that. It's like a no-brainer. You get to work with both, your best players, as well as even get top-tier experience for going down and playing with the under-20s for their big tournament. So to me, that makes a lot of sense. And it definitely is something to be considered for Canada. And as I said, how much of this for the U.S. is it a loss? Not really, because they've got a lot of talent down there. So I believe Canada is doing right, and this helps because he's young, still up and coming, and I believe he'll have a lot more to show coming up. So hopefully that will be great, and we'll get this said. Panama, he might get subbed in, and it's a friendly, so that's probably going to get tested there. Maybe he might play in the Nations League against Curacao, although I think that'll cap tire him. I'm not sure. FIFA rules might be different on age since he's young. I don't know if he'll get cap tied there, but hey, he's getting top tier. Even if he's not playing in the games, he's still getting top tier training and practicing with Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, top tier players of Canada. So either way, it's a win-win for him and for Canada too. John Herdman definitely made the right decision, and we'll see how for him it's only on the up and up, no matter what team he plays for. So Canada, I think he's gonna. That's a smart decision. So I agree, and if they do manage to officially say that he is committed to the team, I'm not as I said, I'm not sure because I'm hearing mixed messages between Gareth Wheeler and One Soccer one saying he is and one saying he isn't. So if it is, I'm not sure, but if he is, that would be great because Canada, that would add to their wing and attack depth that they need and can build, especially for and he's young, so he'll be up and coming as well as he can get only better and better. So Canada, this is great, and definitely you want to keep poaching dual national talent like this. So yeah, that's my input on it. I really, really love to see him on the team. Should he commit fully to the national team, as well as, I'm pretty sure any other Canadian should be happy about this as well, as he's only going to get better. He's young, and he's also going to add more attacking energy and skill into this team. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about this. I hope you guys enjoyed that article. I know it was long, as I said, but I hope you guys bared with me. I butchered it, unfortunately, but hopefully it was still able to be understandable. But if you like this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. By the way, we've reached over 150 subs, so that means there will be a sub special coming soon. Maybe Saturday, also tomorrow, maybe Sunday. But for sure, we've got games to react to, both Canada and the U.S., so stay tuned for that, but there is a sub special coming out. I'll have to decide on what topic I want to talk about there. But thank you guys so much for giving me the 150, as we just celebrated yesterday a year anniversary of this channel. So thank you guys. But if you like this, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Even recommend the videos to friends if you think there's something that they'll be interested in too. Hit the bell notification knowing when any videos uploaded or posted, and tell your friends Canada might have a new rising player on the way.